everyone, it's Kerry back with you today. Some of you may know that Renee has been on a bit of a roll making some fabulous bits and pieces kits recently, and it's like every time she makes one it's like next level, next level. So I'm super duper excited to share this one with you today. Months and months and months ago I had seen a video by Roxy where she was making these lovely watercolour marks on some antique papers and things like that, and I sat down and I had a bit of a go myself, but I was getting frustrated with the fact that I could not maintain a square to save my life. So my squares would be, this one would be this size, the next one would be a bit bigger, and then a bit bigger, and by the time I got to the bottom of the page it was like half a page. So I said to my sister, I really want some watercolour swatches, can you make a digi? Anyway, it got shelved, we were working on other things, and then last week she said, I've started work on the watercolor digi, and when she showed me I was like, my jaw was on the floor. I was so excited. It's absolutely stunning. So I'll give you a quick look through the kit, and then today I'm going to show you how I've made these fun little charms, and then I'll save these ones for another project, but I'll give you a quick look at them today. So the kit is absolutely enormous. It's 67 pages, and I have printed all of the pages out to give you a quick look at them. So we'll just do a really quick flip through. But the pages print just perfectly, and there are so many options to play with. Today we're going to be working with just this one page, and I've used that to create these fun little fabric charms. I've just used some fabric on the back that I have very lightly rusted. I've got some cotton cake pieces here, and then just the little digital swatch on the front, and I've made mine double-sided, and a little gem charm just to finish it off there, and I thought they were super cute. So let's get started. So to begin with, I've taken this page which has our lovely little rectangle swatches, and this one has a very subtle pattern in the background. Now I'm not going to even bother cutting off my white edges at the moment, but I am going to just roughly gauge the middle of this row here, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Just going to cut that off there, and then the same down the middle of this row here. So now I have these 3 strips, and I want to fold in the middle of this row. So I'm just going to use my the back of my knife here, and I'm just going to roughly eyeball it using the back of my knife, and I'm just going to gently crease the paper there, and same on that side, and then that will sort of give me a little bit of a crease so I know where to fold my paper to get it roughly in the middle. Now again, it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to be cutting them apart. Then I'm just going to use my bone folder to strengthen that crease. Just going to bring in a piece of glue paper. I've just got some glue stick here. I'm just going to pop glue all over 1/2 of the back. And then I'm just going to fold that over and again give it a good press down. Now I'll just set that one aside to dry while I do the other ones. Okay, so now I have my 3 double-sided strips. Now they're not quite dry. They would be better or easier to cut if they were completely dry, but we're just going to have a go. So I just cut the white end off, and then I'm going to cut down the length, and I'm using this little bit that's exposed of the colour swatches to sort of help me line up and get a straight cut down the edge. And then cut that bit off at the bottom as well. So now I have my double-sided swatch, and you could make these any length you like, but they sort of naturally fall into threes, so I'm just going to cut them apart in little groups of 3. So now I have all my little swatches cut apart, so I will just speed up the video and do these ones as well. So now I have all my little double-sided swatches ready. Now some of them you can see that the font goes in a certain direction, but I don't think it really matters which way you have them. It's very subtle, so you could have them whichever way you prefer. And then I've been using my Crop-A-Dile to punch a hole in the top. Now you can do them individually. I'll just use my small hole, and I'm just catching into the edge of the colour swatch so that when I pop in the eyelet I've got enough space around the edges. I just sort of eyeball it and punch my little hole there. Now you can, if you're comfortable with it, line a few up together. Sort of tap them all down. Now some of them might be slightly longer than others, so you can see here I've got one that's a lot longer than the rest, but as long as they're all lined up together you can punch more than one hole at once. So there we go, that glue's still a little bit wet, but now I've got a hole punched in each one. And then I just go in with my eyelets and pop some little metal eyelets in there. Alright, now if I was doing these for a mass make, following along with Corey's Junk Journal Mass Make March, then I would punch all the holes, then set all the eyelets all in one go, and then just progress like a bit of an assembly line. But I'll just leave it at that for the moment. Okay, so what I've got here is some of the cotton cake ribbon, which is just this lovely cotton ribbon with a very frayed edge. Comes in lots of colours. And then I've also got some pieces of this eyelet broderie anglais type fabric, which I had rusted. And I'm just going to use pieces of this for my background. So I'll just cut it and tear it. So then to create the dangle, I've just taken my fabric for the background, snip off any of these extra strings that you don't want to have hanging on. And then I pick out my colour and I work out which of the cotton ribbon I want as the background. So that one works quite well. Works with that one as well. And I want the ribbon to be just slightly longer than my swatch. So it hasn't been cut very straight on that end, so I might have that as the bottom edge. I'll cut about that much so that when I layer it on top you can see it poking out from under the swatch. And then I've got to the side here some of these pretty little gems that I bought for a different project ages and ages ago, but it didn't happen, so I thought these would look pretty on these ones. I basically just pick a gem and these have got little holes drilled in the top. Thread my gem on my pin and then thread my paint swatch and my fabrics onto my pin, and that's it. It's that simple. So you could use any kind of charm that you wanted to, or buttons. Buttons look cute too. So we'll just do this green one, and I've picked this green cotton ribbon for this one. Just make sure it's hanging down a little bit. These scissors are a bit blunt for fabric at the moment. Just going to fray that edge. So then I'll layer up my fabric and my swatch, and maybe I'll use this little green leaf gem this time. Grab another pin. So there we go, another cute little charm there. So they're super quick and easy to make, and you can make heaps of them just from one page. So that's just one simple project that you could make from this watercolour digi. I was having a fiddle around with some of the other pages from the kit, and I was making these cute little mini journals. I basically just had a couple of pages inside with a piece of French ledger on the front, and then I've just cut, or actually tore, some pieces from the watercolour kit and layered them up, and they're finished. It's so quick to make that you kind of feel like you haven't put in enough effort, if that makes sense. But I think they just look fab. And of course they work with all the other kits, so you know the possibilities are endless. So I will show you how I've put these together in another video. I will leave links in the description box below to both the kit and some of the cotton cakes that we have available in the shop. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'll see you again next time. Bye!